It is part 2 of episode number 3 of the Wrestling Revolution, and there is the Phenom, The Undertaker. At the time, the WWE Undisputed Champion of the World. It's time for your King of the Ring 2002 main event. The Undertaker defends against Triple H Undisputed Championship match. So, and to be honest, it was an entertaining match, you know. Of course, my first show, and it was an entertaining match to watch. But that's not what I'm talking about. I've got things to do. First of all, somebody had actually just texted me in between videos asking me about Ted DiBiase. Let me check my phone and make sure I didn't miss anything else, by the way. I have a voicemail. Anyway, I'll get to that later. But I was asked through text message what I think about Ted DiBiase, facing Orton on Monday. And that match definitely planted the seeds for a Randy Orton face turn. No doubt about it. Or excuse me, Ted DiBiase, not Randy Orton. Ted DiBiase face turn. Definitely planted the seeds for a DiBiase face turn. And I'm actually happy to see it. I really want to see a Ted DiBiase face turn. And, it'll be cool to see. But that's not important. I got to get to your questions. I got to get the UFC predictions. And, Friday Night Smackdown this Friday. Let me get to that real quick. Friday Night Smackdown. Main event this Friday, Intercontinental Championship on the line. Rey Mysterio defends against one half of the tag team champions, Chris Jericho. Hopefully we can find out information about Edge, see where they're going with that tag title picture. We'll probably find out Monday on Raw when it's live. But, Rey Mysterio, Chris Jericho, again, for the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah, 5 hours of sleep. Let it be. Anyway, UFC 100 this Saturday night. A couple big fights, I'm still new to UFC, so if I make some dumb comments, forgive me. I'm new to this UFC game. But 2 championship fights at UFC 100. Thiago Alves challenges GSP George St. Pierre for the welterweight championship of the world. I've watched a lot of both those guys catching up on him. And when Thiago beat Matt Hughes, that was impressive. That was really impressive. GSP is a stud. GSP is one of the best pound-for-pound fighters the UFC's ever seen. This one is gonna go at least 4 rounds. But I don't think anybody can beat GSP. My prediction: GSP remains the welterweight champion of the world. Main event fight, the feature bout. It's going to be Frank Mir, the interim champion, against the next big thing and the 2002 King of the Ring and current UFC champion Brock Lesnar. Unification contest. And watching the pre-show, Frank Mir is really, really confident in himself going into this fight because he made Lesnar tap out. And Brock Lesnar has got a chip on his shoulder. Lesnar is beyond pissed. Lesnar is going out for revenge in this fight. And we've seen what Brock Lesnar can do. We saw it in the Heath Herring fight. We saw it in the Frank Mir fight. He strikes quick and sudden. And Lesnar has these hands that are like frying pans. So Lesnar definitely has a strength advantage over Mir. Mir has the experience edge, but how can you bet against Brock Lesnar? Especially now that he's a champion, that's more momentum, and that's more ego Brock Lesnar can have. You can't bet against Brock Lesnar. I'm picking Brock Lesnar to retain. Or, well, whatever. You can't really retain, but whatever. Anyway, it's time for the best part of the show. It's your questions. Now, I didn't get that many questions this week. I was actually heartbroken. I need more questions, guys. I'm looking right at you. And you, and you, and you. Send some more questions in. This is actually my favorite part of the show. I really do enjoy answering questions. And it actually keeps the show interesting, thinking on my feet with these questions. And we're going to first. It's Jesse Ruse Flyer, a.k.a. formerly Vincent31. I'm actually happy to see someone asking, 2 in a row. But let's see. He asked, when do you think they will put Amazing Red back to the main event status or up to the X Division title picture? I actually mentioned this back in part 1 of how Homicide, if he can become, if and when he becomes X Division champion of the world, he didn't have many challengers, so that would be Amazing Red's, big opportunity to get back in the X Division title picture. But to say Amazing Red going in the main event status, I really can hardly see that. I mean, he doesn't get much TV time, doesn't get a lot of push to begin with, and from how they're building him, wrestling Cody Deaner and that sort, he does not have the legitimate backing to even compete with a main event Mafia, with an AJ Styles, with a Daniels, with a Matt Morgan, with a Sting, with a Jeff Jarrett. It'll take a while if they're going to push Amazing Red to the main event status. All right, and now I've got 2 more questions, both from another person who actually asked, 2 weeks in a row. To you guys, thank you. To the people who didn't ask, you guys break my heart. To quote Santino Marella, "You making me so mad." Anyway, gotta get that Santino quote out of me. Darth Vader 163 wants to know, how long do you think CM Punk will have the World Heavyweight Championship? Honestly, it has nothing to do with booking. It has nothing to do with CM Punk's momentum. It has to do with Jeff Hardy and what he signs. He hasn't committed long term to the WWE, so they don't want to risk putting the World's Heavyweight Championship on CM or on Jeff Hardy. So, he'll definitely make it to SummerSlam as the World's Heavyweight Champion. I mean, this Jeff Hardy backing, this feud is the fans' top face, and especially with Edge gone, Jeff Hardy has all the momentum in the world to make it to SummerSlam as the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight title with a stipulation match against CM Punk. So CM Punk will hold it till at least SummerSlam, but it all depends on Jeff Hardy. It all depends on Jeff Hardy. And I'm not saying I like CM Punk as champion. No. But he's better than Jeff Hardy as champion. Because Jeff Hardy promos aren't that fun to watch. Just my opinion. And let's see, Darth Vader asks, who would I like to see CM Punk feud with? Now I like this question, because I've thought about this one. I want to see CM Punk feud with John Morrison for that world title. John Morrison pinned the World's Heavyweight Champion, and they went nowhere with it. John Morrison pinned the champion of the world and didn't get a huge push because of it. Which sucks, because John Morrison is a really good wrestler. 2 completely different styles. Morrison's a clean-cut guy, and CM Punk, a kind of, punk-looking guy. No pun intended. But, complete, different styles. Maybe put Chris Jericho in there for a little bit. Rey Mysterio and CM Punk can have great matches. Put Mysterio back in the world title picture. And The Undertaker, who's right in the background, he's still on SmackDown. He's still a legitimate star. And it's never happened. It's never been CM Punk versus The Undertaker, so it could be different. Well, folks, I think I'm out of things to ramble about this week. So, remember, go online. Well, you're already online. You're watching me now. But go on YouTube and click the subscribe button, which would be that way. Maybe that way. Wait, click the yellow button to subscribe, the pretty one, because that makes me feel really happy about myself. And go down there, right there, get on your keyboard and type questions. Give me something to ramble about besides just talking to hear myself talk. Give me a purpose of talking. Well, folks, this wraps up another edition of the Wrestling Revolution. I will see you next week. Take it easy.